I'm Brad Buchanan. I'm a retired English professor and full-time author and chess fanatic. My latest book is called Spy's Mate, a novel. My story was inspired by learning how much the KGB was involved in high-level chess in the last days of the Soviet Union. I've done a lot of research and done my fair share of digging and looking at videos and interviews about this topic, and Bobby Fischer was right. The Russians really were conspiring against outsiders to keep the World Chess Championship to themselves, if at all possible. They managed to corrupt a lot of chess officials as well. They conducted sort of covert operations on families of chess players, trying to sabotage them, trying to make members of their family sick. And they also persecuted chess players who wanted to emigrate to places like Israel. And they marginalized anyone who was basically not a loyal communist. They also looked down upon ethnic minorities in the Soviet Union, so Armenians, Jews, people who were not Slavic in origin got shoddy treatment often and found it really difficult to climb the ranks of the Soviet chess establishment. So my novel, even though it's fiction, was inspired by events that really happened and about which there's a fair amount of evidence these days. Well, my main character was primarily inspired by the career of Garry Kasparov. Even though Yasha Basmajian, my hero, is very different from Garry Kasparov, Kasparov took on the Soviet elites in a very courageous, head-on way, and it was only because he was such a good chess player that he could successfully resist the establishment Communist Party and could function basically as an independent chess player. He even had to rebel against the whole chess establishment and created a rival chess group because when he was world champion, he really couldn't play under the conditions that he wanted to play in. So Garry Kasparov was the model for my hero, and my villain is modeled after Anatoly Karpov, who was Kasparov's main antagonist, who was just a little less skilled and I would say a lot less intellectually adventurous than Kasparov, and therefore Kasparov managed to beat Karpov more often than not, which of course made chess much more of a world game that others besides the Russians could aspire to dominating in. And Kasparov just continues to be an inspiring figure, even though not very much of his family background makes it into Spy's Mate. Well, as a writer, I love that I can sit down whenever I want and engage my imagination, engage my creativity, and I'm the boss of everything that happens on the page. When you're a writer, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to follow any particular rules. If you're writing in a genre like fiction, of course, you want to avoid obvious mistakes and clumsy fiction habits, but you also get to make your own schedule. And since I am disabled and can't work for long hours, can't stand up for long periods of time, I'm physically limited in all kinds of ways. Being a writer really suits my my capabilities at the moment. Well, first of all, I would advise you to be an eager and voracious reader, because people who have read good books are the ones who are most likely to be able to write good books. I think too many people think that they can wake up, roll out of bed, and write a book just because they want to do that. I think education is good if you're not formally educated. Buy good books. For instance, for fiction writers, I would strongly advise a book called Writing Fiction, A Guide to Narrative Craft by Janet Burroway, which as a creative writing teacher, I assign to my students and I've reread multiple times. And it's kind of the Bible, I think, for fiction writers. Spy's Mate is available to pre-order right now on Amazon.com and also through bookshop.org. It will also be available starting October 14th in bookstores near you.